All
Go
right.
ahead.
For those that don't know me, my name's Melissa Weathers, and I'm an ML teacher at Forest Elementary School in Fairlawn. I'm also the co-chair of NJTESOL-NJBE Bergen chapter, along with Crystal. Crystal, you want to share?
Hi,
Where
I'm
you are?
Crystal Alexander Thomas. I'm also an ESL teacher in Leonia. I work in the elementary school, sorry, and I'm working with second, third, and fourth graders. I'm also the co-chair of this organization, so I'm happy to meet you all this evening and hope we learn a lot together.
Thank you, Crystal.
Mhm.
I do want to remind everyone about the PD certificates at the end of the presentation. I need to leave early. We have our ML Parent Expo this evening, so Crystal is going to put the PD link in the chat. Click the link, fill out a quick survey, hit submit, and it should be in your personal email shortly. I'm also very happy to have Leah Carmona here from Higher Education Representative at NJTESOL-NJBE. With her, our Laura Madera, Director of College Readiness at Bergen Community College, along with Susanna Lensangen. She is the ESL ALP program at Bergen Community College, runs that. I'm happy to have them here to talk about ML readiness for college. But before they begin, very happy to have Hermes Trujillo here with CWS, Church World Services, to talk about a special program. So welcome and thank you. You may begin. Can't hear you. I think you're muted. There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Nice to meet you all. My name is Hermes. I work for Church World Service. We are a resettlement agency located in Jersey City. We serve mainly immigrants located in the Hudson County area, Bergen County, Passaic, and Essex County. So our program, we just created this program. First of all, I want to clarify that all our services are completely free and completely voluntary. If you refer an immigrant family and they don't want to receive our services, we cannot force them to receive them. So, and also we don't grant any kind of legal status. So we help them applying to asylum, but we don't grant any visas or legal status. So our program helps mainly asylum seekers. This is people who are, can you see my screen? Yes. Okay, so for a little bit of context, by December of last year, there were 116,000 cases, pending asylum cases in New Jersey. The immigration court is located at Newark, and New Jersey is the sixth largest population by asylum seeker population. And on average, the court received 3,500 new monthly applications. Usually, asylum seekers are not entitled to any kind of state benefits or healthcare or housing. And when they apply to asylum, they have to wait around 2 years to receive their work authorization. So for around 2 years, they're not legally authorized to work. This makes them very vulnerable to face homelessness, food insecurity, and extreme financial instability. And also, they don't come with the resources to pay for lawyers who help them in the legal cases. So we receive a donation from a private donor to help us create a program that will target this immigrant population, especially in the current political climate that we're in. So the services that we provide, first of all, we have 2 shelters. So if there's an immigrant family who are facing homelessness, we can help them with up to 3 months of housing in one of our 2 shelters. Then once these 3 months are completed, we refer them to other local shelters that we have relationship with. We also depending on case by case, we can also help them applying for housing and apply and paying for deposit and the first month of rent. This also depends on our budgets, and so yeah, so it's very situational, but that's also a possibility. So if you guys know someone who's applying or want to apply to a new apartment, they have to be immigrants. This is a very important thing, that they have to be immigrants. Okay, so we also help them applying for asylum. We also help them applying for EAD, which is the work permit that allows them to legally work in the US. We also help them preparing for court appointments. So if they have their asylum court date and they need assistance, like getting all the documentation ready for their appointment, we also match them with other legal services provided in the region. If they need a lawyer to come with them to their court appointment, so the risk of being captured by ICE is lesser. We also help them with donations. We have hygiene kits that we give them. We have winter jackets. We have clothes. We have diapers. We have baby formula. We have also a small food pantry, so with non-perishable food. So if they want, they can also take some things from our food pantry. We also offer employment assistance. This will materialize in the form of helping them building their resume so they can apply for jobs. We also want to implement ESL, but for now we don't have the resources for that. But this is something that we're looking for and we might offer in the future. We also help with in case they apply, because there's sometimes that the child is a US citizen, but the parents are not, so the child will be entitled to receive Medicaid. We can help them with that. If there's a case, we can also evaluate the chance to help them applying for SNAP services or for WIC or any other state services that they might be entitled. This is only for people in mixed households. That means that there's at least one US citizen in the household. If all of them are undocumented or their asylum application is still pending, we cannot help them applying for these services. We can also provide cash assistance in the case they need to pay transportation and they don't have money, for example, to go to the court appointment. That's also that we can help them covering. We also have a lot of local organizations we work with that we can refer them for medical services and for mental health services. And yeah, so how our program works, we send you a referral form that for you to fill. Once we get this referral, we have in between 5 business days, we contact them, we do a needs assessment to gather all the information about the family, what are the greatest needs, how can we most help them. And then we design an individualized service plan, depending on each case, and we try to provide as many services as we can. We do a 30-day evaluation to see how we've helped them so far, what else can we do, then a 60-day follow-up, then a 90-day follow-up, and our services can last for up to 6 months of us guiding the families in anything we can potentially do. So yeah, this is basically our program. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. I think, I don't know if you guys already received a referral link.
Yes, I put the information and the link in the chat, so you can copy it
Okay.
from the chat, or if you have any questions, you can email me. I'll put my email, Kathleen Fernandez. I'm the executive director, and I will get you in touch with either Hermes or Mina, who is our contact there. So thank you, Hermes. I appreciate you coming to this afternoon.
Of course. Thank you so much. This is such a great experience. So if you also, I'm gonna drop my email on the chat. So
Perfect.
if you have any questions at all, wait, I can't. Okay, I'm gonna try to figure out. You can.
Thank you so much for sharing. I just wanted to know if there's like a time requirement, like do the participants need to be here for a certain amount of time, or does that matter?
No, it doesn't matter as long as they're immigrants. Well, I think the shorter amount of time they've been in the US, the easier for us to help them. If someone has been here for 20 years, 10 years, and they haven't pursued any kind of legal status, that's a little bit harder for us to yes, to kind of advocate for them because it becomes harder. But if it's someone who's been in the country for 20 years, 10 years, and they're experiencing homelessness, we can help them with housing, with temporary housing.
Okay,
But legal, the longer someone is without any kind of legal status, the harder it becomes to kind of do something for them.
I see. Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Hermes, I put your email in the chat.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I just figured that right now.
Thank you. Leah, too, you're all set? Welcome.
Okay.
You're still muted.
Okay, bye-bye, Hermes. Thank
Bye,
you.
Hermes. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Okay, I'm gonna share my computer. Hold on. I have all my stuff in here. All right, so can you see my computer?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Melissa, for letting us present today, and Crystal also. So I teach at Bergen Community College, but also I am the higher ed rep for New Jersey TESOL-NJBE. And there is a team, so I'm part of a team, and we're looking at programs that promote collaboration between high school and 2-year and 4-year colleges, because we're trying to promote pathways or an easy transition for our MLs when they graduate from high school and they want to continue into higher education. So our goal is to create a report that shows the current programs in all colleges across the state of New Jersey. And also, we want to promote potential partnerships based on the needs of our MLs. So for that, we created a survey, as you could see on the screen. There are 2 QR codes. So if you teach in high school, or if you know high school teachers, if you could please share this survey with them, and also with your counselors, because we're trying to also encourage counselors to promote these programs. So I'm going to add the link to the chat after our presentation so that you can share with as many, high school teachers as you can. All right, Laura, are you ready? So today we'd like to showcase our program at Bergen Community College. Is a summer boot camp, and Laura Madera is our director at the College Readiness Program. So she'll, give you a little information about the logistics. And also I want to introduce Dr. Susana Lansangan, who, I really want to praise, because thanks to her hard work and dedication, this program came to life. So everything has, been possible thanks to her knocking on doors and spending lots of hours, talking.
So maybe I should start before I introduce Laura, just to
Okay.
give you a background of how I started this.
Yes.
So I initiated a partnership first with a few high schools in Bergen County, and then it just grew to maybe about 7 or 9. So my initial goal was just to inform the MLs about opportunities at BCC. So we bring them to the college, give them some campus tour, and then we presented the ESL program and the English Basic Skills department as well. So, we talk about, oh, sorry, because there's a sensor in my office. Or let me just move. All right. Okay. There you go. I've got to tell them to change this lighting here. But so we talk about the placement process, testing process, and then we also, talk to them about the college admission process, financial aid, college major student activities. So it was all of that. And then, but I was not very happy about just bringing them for a campus tour and just to talk about, what we have to offer. So I reached out to Laura Madera. I guess this was probably 2023 or something, right, Laura? Because I wanted to give the students a little bit more of a college experience by putting them into the classroom instead of just coming in and doing campus tour and just talking about the ESL program. So I'm going to pass this on to Laura, who's helped me a lot. We started this partnership where we started what we first of all called the College Readiness Pilot Program. And, she'll talk more about this. Thank you, Laura.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having us, Leah, Susanna. Truly could not do this without you. Very excited to share a little bit about what we've been doing at Bergen to support the ML population. So as I guess, Leah, you're okay with the slides? Great. So just a little bit about our Bergen Prep program. So it is a college readiness dual enrollment partnership that we have to support MLs. The funding for the program is provided by the College Readiness Now grant, which is something that the college receives through OSHE. And so I'm not sure if anyone's familiar with it, but the aim of the grant is to, perform activities to help achieve college readiness amongst the high school population. Bergen has been a recipient of the grant for many years. It's a grant that also community colleges across the state also receive, and kind of each community college decides what their high school partnership needs are and how they're going to use the funding. We used it traditionally to help achieve readiness in English and in math, but when talking about English, there was never really a conversation about, well, what about our MLs? And so that's when Susanna approached us and we had a conversation, and in 2024 piloted an ESL summer program. The name that we kind of have for it is Bergen Prep, but it is all through the College Readiness Now grant funding. And so in 2024, we had some high school students take the ESL AccuPlacer, and we really aimed at working with students that place into our last level of college ESL. So at BCC, we do have a college ESL program. It's 4 levels. And so we thought, we're first time doing this. Let's try to work with the students that are advanced and take it from there. And so it was very successful. And so then last year, or this past summer, 2025. Oh, perfect. Thank you, Leah. So this is just a little bit of a breakdown of the different levels in our college ESL program. So we sought to work with students that placed into level 3 advanced. Now, little did we know, many of the students were actually going to place into level 2 intermediate. We were hoping that we would find just some kind of similarity between their ESL AccuPlacer and their WIDA access scores, but we have yet to find like a real straightforward correlation. And so when we work with students, and in a later slide, we'll talk about what our eligibility criteria has been, but many of the students that are advanced ESL at the high school end up falling into our intermediate level. So the first summer, we focused on just students that did qualify for advanced, but then this past summer, we ran level 2 and level 3 courses concurrently. And then all the students shared the same kind of study hall activities period where they worked with tutors, academic coaches, and advisors. So we can go on to the next slide, Leah. Thank you. This slide is just basically talking about the funding for the program and how it was piloted. In the program, students participate in grammar, reading, writing, speech courses, as well as there is a career exploration that we've embedded into our Success 101 course at the college. It's a 3-credit college elective. And so students that participate in the program do the ESL classes, but then they also take the Success College course and earn those credits for free. And that's something that there, is a big incentive for them when hearing about the program. Next slide, please. So one of our best, biggest, and our first partners for this program was Cliffside Park Public Schools. Two of the ladies in the picture were here for a campus visit at BCC, and they brought their students, and they were just doing a tour. And we had a conversation, we ended up connecting, we had a conversation, and they let us know we really need something for our ML students. And Susanna had already reached out. And so we said, okay, well, let's all have a conversation together. And so we had the students test. When they came to campus for the test, it was their first time at a college campus. They were just in awe. Many, the high school supervisor shared, many of them didn't really feel or think that college was in the plans for them. Some of them had been here for 4 years or more, but some of the students had only been in the United States for maybe 1 or 2 years. So even just coming to the campus to take the AccuPlacer was a transformative experience for them. The two ladies started as supervisors in their area, and then while we were working together, one of them was promoted to vice principal and the other one to supervisor. And so it was just so beautiful to build that relationship early on. And then as the program developed and our partners grew in maybe influence in their sphere, we had a lot more support in continuing to grow the program. So we thought that was great. So this is in just one of the information sessions that we did at the high school. Next slide, please. So the program benefits when we speak to students and parents. Traditionally, we first connect with the high school, talk about the opportunities. They're excited, they're on board. And so we talk about what we think it'll look like in the summer, and then they invite us to their school for an information session. And the benefits that we really try to highlight to students and families are, number one, you're earning college credit, right? The program is grant funded, and so thankfully we've been able to keep this free of cost for our students. There is a little bit that the district does pick up when it comes to transportation. Sometimes we need assistance with books. As you all know, grant funding is just decreasing every year, and so we've been asked to do a lot more with a lot less. So far, the last few years, we've been able to fully cover tuition and textbooks, and so this upcoming summer, we are looking for ways in which we can kind of spread out the costs a little bit more, but the goal is always to keep this free of charge for the students. And so the fact that they get to walk away from the summer not only having improved their English skills, but also earning college credit is very, very important for these students, especially because we've learned along the way as we've worked with our partners that some of these ML students don't have dual enrollment as part of their pathway. And so participating in the summer program has opened up dual enrollment opportunities at the high school for the students. We find that students that participate while they're still underclassmen end up reaping a bit more benefits because once they're done with the program, they get to go back to the high school. They're motivated. They've earned college credit. They're able to advocate for themselves to take more challenging courses. And the districts have been really supportive in embracing and honoring the credits they've earned through BCC and helping the students with schedule changes that might not have been on the table prior to their participation. So we're really happy with that outcome. This also allows students earning college credit, allows them to kind of accelerate in their degree pathway. So once they graduate high school, hopefully they at least have those 3 or 6 college credits they earned through our program. But again, if they went back to their high school and now are taking dual enrollment classes, then they're graduating high school with more college credits. Last summer, 2024, we had our first ML participant that did the final level of ESL in the summer with us and then got invited to attend her high school's early college program. And so now that student is a junior, rising senior, and earning her associate degree, and she will graduate from her high school at the same time as she graduates from Bergen with her degree. And so we're really excited about that. And it never occurred to us that this was a pathway we could create for ML students. And so we're happy about that outcome as well. Something that we've also seen is just the confidence boost that our students walk away with. Later on in the presentation, I did add some excerpts of student testimonials. We had them do like a journal entry at the end of the summer, and it was just a resounding, I'm so happy I did this. I've grown, I've learned so much. My mindset, I know, I'm more focused now. I thought this was going to be boring, but it was great. And so it's rewarding to know that the work that you do is making an impact, but to actually see the fruit of it and see them improve, not only as students, but as humans, is also really powerful. And so I always try to make sure to mention that when talking about the program, because it really goes beyond the academic. And they are academically being enriched, but there's so much more to it. And then, of course, tuition and books being covered is very important. So we got to mention that. Thank you, Leah. Okay, so the program criteria that we've used the last 2 years is when working with a school that wants to participate, we've asked them, okay, look at your students. We've worked primarily with students that are 16 or over. So we're trying to target juniors and seniors, but we also work with sophomores. And so because this is summer, then sophomores that are rising juniors in that summer can participate, as well as rising seniors and graduating seniors. Through our experience, the graduating seniors don't necessarily get as much out of it unless they have plans to attend Bergen after. Because in that case, we do the advising, we help them with their first year experience and their college schedule and everything like that. But if they're going to transfer to a 4-year school, they do get value in kind of reinforcing and growing in the language before they go to NJIT or Rutgers, but they find that there are other things they want to do over the summer. They're not as committed. Now, when we've been working with the sophomores, juniors, whether they're rising juniors, rising seniors, they're excited, they're ready to do the work, and then they really get a lot out of it when they go back to the high school. So that's where we've kind of tried to stick with the 16 age range. We have worked with 15-year-olds that are going to turn 16 eventually, or if they're 15 but they have a lot of support from the high school. Like this past summer, we actually had a freshman, rising sophomore, 15 years old, passed the ESL AccuPlacer, really wanted something to do and participate. And so we had her come to campus, and she took English Composition 1 and public speaking college level, got an A in both classes. And then we had a conversation at the end of the program. Oh my goodness, you're going into 10th grade, but you've already done senior year English. Let's have a conversation with your school counselor about what we can do next. Again, not something we expected to happen, but an outcome that we're really excited about. And so that school now has a student on their radar for when it's time for early college conversations, because that student is definitely a candidate. As far as the placement piece, we look for the WIDA access test score of a 3 or higher, and students still have to take the ESL AccuPlacer, and then we look for the equivalent scores of our level 2 or level 3. Just an overview of what the process looks like is, once a connection has been made with a district and we confirm that we are aligned, there's compatibility, everyone has the same expectations, then we start with an information session and outreach at the high school level. So usually like the ML coordinator or someone that has access to the student information for their access scores and their schedule will take a look at all the students and come up with a preliminary list of prospects, right? Students that are in the right grade and have the right access test. Those students will hear about the opportunity, right? Anyone from that opportunity that would like to move forward with applying and taking the test, then applies to the program. We do the AccuPlacer. Once the AccuPlacer is complete and then we have the scores, we're able to then confirm participation, right? So at the high school level, who's your preliminary list? Have them hear about the program, take the submit the application, take the test. If you meet our required scores for participation, then we can confirm your participation. We advise and register the students into their classes. And then our summer program starts mid-May after the end of our college spring courses. And so all students are required to also attend an orientation. So the information session, family night is mandatory, as well as before taking the test, as well as the orientation after having their participation confirmed. And then finally, their classes begin. These are just some really sweet photos from the outreach and the information sessions that we've done at the schools. One of the schools hosted us in their cafeteria at Cliffside Park. And then on the right-hand side, we have an information session that we did at Ridgefield Park. Now, this schedule, it may look a little bit different this upcoming summer. We're looking to run the program a bit more of a boot camp style, but the times and the days will likely remain the same. So just to give you all a general idea, summer 1 aligns with the last 6 weeks of the academic year for the high school. And so what we've done is we offer the students online synchronous courses. And so they'll be required to attend a virtual lecture 4 times a week, twice a week for success, and then twice a week for speech, typically from 6 to 7:45. So the students that are going to participate know, okay, those 6 weeks, there are 2 hours every day you need to dedicate to that virtual lecture. Your camera has to be on. You have to participate. You have to do your homework on top of whatever other high school responsibilities. Many of our students work as well. So it does require a lot of commitment and dedication. And then once summer 1 ends and the high school ends, we invite them to our campus for summer 2, typically July 2nd to August 12th. And so from Monday through Thursday, because we are closed on Fridays in the summer, between 8 to 12, students go to their college classes. So their college ESL courses, grammar, reading, writing. And then we have workshops for the students. And the workshops this past summer were just incredible. I mean, the students learned about LinkedIn. They all created a profile. I don't know how many requests on LinkedIn in one day. And I was like, okay, slow down. They did picnic. They did virtual vision boards. They got to do conversation groups. Like, I could just go on and on. It really was a transformative experience. And I think this year I was most surprised by the feedback from the faculty, because we tend to expect students to, if the program is good, for them to feel good about it as well. But then to walk away and faculty feeling really enriched by the experience and inspired and motivated, I thought that was pretty invaluable. So that's a little bit about our schedule. Next slide. And of course, this is kind of a breakdown of what the focus is for the 6 weeks. So grammar, reading, and writing is that second half, with the soft skills, the workshops, the study halls, the conversation groups. And then summer 1, the focus is really on that speech, which is not college level, but they do earn credit. So the speech that they take in the summer is not the same as the speech that's required for their degree. So at least at BCC, in order to graduate with your associate degree, you need English Composition 1, or the equivalent of AP Lang, English Composition 2, or AP Lit, and then a speech communication or public speaking course. It's 3 credits. And so the speech that we have the students take during the summer is more of an ESL level to help them when it's time to go to the college level speech class. And then some of our current partners are Cliffside Park, Richfield, and North Arlington. And then this was 2024. The group of students that participated, we had a closing ceremony for them. One of the students there met our dual enrollment coordinator at the time, and she got a napkin and wrote down her contact info. And she said, "Please, I want to do dual enrollment. when I go back to the high school and we're like, Stephanie, don't worry about it. We got you. So they just really flourished in the program. And so one of the benefits too is for those graduating seniors, if they are college bound, which we encourage them to be, and we try to help as much as we can so that that happens, then they kind of have a very simple transition into college with the advising, the registration. We do have check-ins throughout the summer. So if I know that they're graduating, I'm also the program counselor. Then we'll talk about, okay, NJ-FAMs, did you submit your documents? Did you submit your FAFSA? We have also found some graduating seniors that end up qualifying for EOF. And so while they do miss the EOF summer program, I do make sure to connect them with our EOF office so they can submit the application. Moving forward, I am encouraging graduating seniors that if they are eligible for EOF, to actually prioritize that program and then really focus our program on students that are not EOF eligible or maybe not graduating yet so they can get a little bit more out of the experience. We try to be really clear about our expectations because while I tell students that the program is free of cost financially for them, there is a cost to pay. And so we need their time, we need their dedication, we need their commitment. They are personally responsible for their classes, for their attendance, and for their work. We expect them to have a support system, build a support system, whatever that looks like. We kind of let them know from the beginning, you should not and do not have to do this alone. Either the other students in the program, use them as a support, your professors, your advisor, your tutors, find the people to support you and encourage you throughout the summer because it's an early college program of sorts, right? It's a pre-college experience, but it is college. And so it is new for them. And we try to help them understand that it's okay to ask for help. And actually, it's a sign of strength.
Right. Like, and find out that everything's.
Oh, no worries. And then we talk about the impact on the future. So something that I let them know is, as of right now, the way the program has operated, they have taken college ESL courses that while they don't count toward a degree, they do open up the student's college transcript, which means those grades follow them, those degrees, those credits follow them. When it comes to time to attend another institution and apply for financial aid, although maybe they didn't receive financial aid for these classes, these credits do count toward their completion. And so we just want to make sure that students understand that when you commit to the program, it's not so that you back out 2 weeks into it. You're going to get a W. A W is a grade, and that's on your transcript. And then there's a bill, right? So we try to make sure that they understand that. And also vice versa, that knowing that being successful in the program will also help them in their future. And this was actually really exciting. So our wonderful ALP department has a completion ceremony for the college students every year. And so we got to invite the high school students that had completed the program in the summer to come to the campus and attend this really nice event. There was food, there were musicians, there were speakers. They felt so special. And so we were really, really happy to give them that opportunity. And so I won't read these to you. Hopefully we can get a copy of this sent out to anyone that would like it. But what I did was try to pull some testimonials that really showed the holistic approach of the program. Some of the things I didn't include were students talking about how they learned how important grammar is. And I'm sure all the grammar teachers said amen, right? They all said it. It's so important. Grammar, reading, I understand vocabulary now. But what I tried to really focus on here were just how students perceived themselves after the program, their confidence. They talked about emotional IQ. They talked about grit. They talked about time management. They talked about being proud of themselves. And I'm trying to see what some of the other ideas that stand out here. Yeah, they learned about the Pomodoro technique and time management. They learned about their identity and what their values are and how to, their personality and their expertise helps them stand out. And I do really think the mindset was for me one of the outcomes I was proudest of, because we know that mindset is everything. And so some of the concerns that actually the students shared in their exit counseling for the summer was initially they felt that it was going to be either boring or too hard. And while they did find it challenging, they said it wasn't boring. It was challenging. I'm happy I had to do the work. I feel better because of it. But now what am I going to do in high school? They felt that they had risen to a new level in their academics, and they were hesitant about, am I going to continue to be challenged when the school year begins? And I thought that, I mean, that's not something that we expected, and something that we share with the high school counselors and their team, and in any way that we can advocate and help for, a schedule that maybe better reflects what the student is now capable of, we're happy to do that, because we also know what happens when a student's highly motivated but then not challenged enough. And so we want to make sure that this isn't the peak of their experience. It sets them on a pathway, and then everything just continues to go up from there. And then here we just provided some information. To the left is the my office, so the Office of High School Partnerships. So I oversee everything that is dual enrollment, early college, both degree seeking and non-degree seeking pathways. The college readiness grant is just one of the things under my purview. And then on the right-hand side is the contact and website for our ESL and World Languages department. And then some of the schools that we partner with. We do more than the ESL program. The focus for today is that, but we also still run programming to help students with developmental math. And that is all. At the bottom, I did include a student interest form. For the most part, in our program, we work based on a partnership. So instead of taking individual students, we'll work with high schools that will have someone at the school kind of take ownership for the program, and liaise between the high school and the college, and then communicate with the group of students, handle the transportation for the group of students, and everything like that. We still will do the interest form because oftentimes, the week before or the week of the program starting, we'll have a student that can no longer participate. And so we're able to have kind of a wait list of students that we're able to say, okay, if you can commit to these days and these times, you're welcome to participate. We also build the schedule based off of what our partners can do. And then if we have additional seats, we allow any additional students to join if they can get themselves there and can attend at the time of the courses. And then I also included a partnership interest form in case that there were any schools that wanted to reach out and learn more about what work we can do together. So thank you.
Thank you. What a wonderful program. That's just terrific. Thank you. I have to leave in a couple minutes, and I know Crystal will be here if some more people have questions. I just wanted to thank you again for an amazing program. I want to hope to pass this along in my district. I'm at the elementary level, but I have some people I know at the high school level. So thank you for everything.
Thank you,
And
Melissa.
have a good night, everyone. Thank you, Crystal.
Thank
And
you.
you guys
No
are
problem.
terrific. Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
I'm
I will also pass along the information. I'm in elementary as well, but I'm sure our district will be interested.
Wow, that's great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Crystal. And I'm going to also add in the chat the link to the survey
Mhm.
so that also share it with high school teachers. Yes.
Okay.
I just wanted to add that when I started teaching this summer program, I started talking to our high school students because I wanted to learn, what their expectations were from me, right? What they, thought college was all about. And I actually learned a lot from them because they expected like a very different relationship. So it gave me an opportunity to show them the differences between K through 12 and higher ed. So at the beginning, they said, oh, professors don't care. They just come, they lecture, they give us the homework. And then it was like, no, I need you to see it from a different perspective, because we now have an adult relationship where we present the information, but now this is your learning, so you're in charge. So having that conversation with college professors helped them adjust better to what the expectations are. So that's why we are very happy to be part of this program to help students transition from that high school, where pretty much everything is set for them, into one where they're asked to be more independent. And without this program, they would have been lost. So I was very proud to be part of it. So thank you, Susanna and Laura, for letting me, yes,
And
teach.
thank you, Leah, for agreeing to participate and teach. I just wanted to share with you, and this is so funny. I met, oh, sorry, 1 second. All right, there you go. So maybe a couple of weeks ago, I went to a nail salon, and I met a new manicurist. And while we were conversing, I happened to find out that she's the mother of Jacqueline, who's my student in the summer program. It's so interesting. And she said, "Oh, you're the professor of my daughter. Oh my, you know what? Now she started to study very, very hard after getting into the summer program." So I think that is one of the best things that that has contributed to our high school students. When they got back to the high school, they've become, I guess, more responsible. They've realized how how it is to be a student in college. So going back to the high school brought them more responsibility, which was truly great to hear from the mom itself, from the mom herself. And so I told her, well, this is what we actually do. This is our mission, to be able to really encourage our students to study really hard. So that's one thing that she brought back to the high school. She said she's studying very hard right now. So I'm very happy. But thank you so much for inviting us to to share this program with you all. I just have to run. But if you have any questions, I guess you can ask us now, or
That's fine. Yes,
right?
I will share the emails with you, Crystal and Melissa. So if you want to put them in your folder so that they can reach out to us anytime.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Laura. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank
All
you,
right.
everyone.
Okay. Bye.
Okay.
So I will post in the chat the link to the form. So if anyone is looking for credit for this session, they could just click the link here and then fill out the Google form.
Thank you. And thank you, Leah, for presenting today. I actually have a question. Do you know, are there other programs like this at the other community colleges throughout the state, or is this pretty unique to Bergen?
No, there are other programs in other community colleges, but we're different. So every college, depending on their relationship with their high schools, have developed a little, different approach to it. Yeah. Laura, I don't know if you want to add.
No, just that they, in a lot of ways, we're different, but in many ways, we're also the same. So many schools may opt to do a boot camp. Some schools will run the same program, but at the high school with the high school teacher. Some of it will run it at the college. As far as the focus with the ML population, if we were either the first or one of the first, but I think schools are starting to also kind of rally. I believe Middlesex Community College is another school that is working with ML students. I don't recall off the top of my head if any of the other two-year schools are, but there is an increased interest and awareness of this being a necessary thing for us to work together with high schools with.
Yeah, there's some schools, some colleges that are reaching out to middle schools. So they're providing like summer camps, but they're also teaching English. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so there are different approaches. So actually, we're looking at our ESL summit in April, where all our community colleges in New Jersey are gonna, discuss these programs. So our CRN, Linda Scher from NJCCC, she will come and she will also present about different grant opportunities for colleges to develop these type of programs.
And I would just share, because I know it's being recorded, just for anyone that's outside of Bergen County but interested in learning more, I would encourage to reach out to your local community college and ask about the College Readiness Now grant, because the odds are high that they have funding and are doing something. And the same way that we started this program based off of a district telling us about their need, you may find the same experience with your local community college.
Yeah, so that's why we have this survey from NJTESOL-NJBE, because we're trying to learn from all the different communities to see what the ML's needs are and try to promote partnerships. So we're trying to collect data so that we can create this report and actually share it with all high schools in New Jersey so that we can promote that reaching out to your community college and see what program you could develop to help students transition into higher ed.
That's great.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so I want to thank you again. This was wonderful, very informative. I'm so happy that you guys could share this. I know this is a hot topic. I saw it come up in like the listserv. Another local community college was asking about the process for students and testing, how it correlates to WIDA and access. So these are definitely, you know, this program is really targeting a need. So this is wonderful. So I think that's all for this evening. So I just want to remind everyone to check the chat and take the links that you need. I know this is being recorded, so I'm sure it'll be shared on the website.
Yep,
Thank
I'll
you.
get it up there and send it out on the hot list. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
All
All
right,
right.
thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you
Good
so
night.
much. Nice to meet you.
Nice
Take
Nice
care.
to meet you.
Well,
Thank you.
okay.